Hello, everyone. Welcome to the market opening bell for Tuesday, June 10th. Market anticipation for the China-US trade talks held in London on Monday, combined with a recent investment bank research report revealing DeepSeek's upcoming large language model R2, drove gains in Hong Kong stocks led by tech shares. The Hang Seng Index opened 185 points higher, with gains expanding to close at the day's high of 24,181 points, up 388 points or 1.6%, marking a 2.5-month high. The Hang Seng China Enterprises Index rose 150 points or 1.7% to 8,780 points, while the Hang Seng Tech Index climbed 146 points or 2.8% to 5,433 points. Total market turnover reached 245.8 billion Hong Kong dollars compared to 235.6 billion dollars the previous day. Southbound funds recorded a net inflow of 717 million Hong Kong dollars into Hong Kong stocks, with net purchases including Innovent Biologics 1.125 billion Hong Kong dollars, Meituan 1.046 billion, Li Auto 452 million, CSPC Pharmaceutical 408 million, and 3S Bio 265 million. Net sales included Tencent Holdings 2.141 billion Hong Kong dollars, Xiaomi 1.452 billion, Alibaba 940 million, PopMart 145 million, and SMIC 109 million. Statistics show southbound funds have net bought Meituan for 16 consecutive days, totaling 17.526 billion Hong Kong dollars, while net selling Tencent for 7 days, 8.052 billion, Xiaomi for 5 days, 5.63 billion, and SMIC for 4 days, 627 million. Technical analysis indicates the Hang Seng Index has finally broken through 24,000 points. If it stabilizes above this level, it could test 24,400 and 24,750 points, or even the March high of 24,874 points. A break above the March high could target 25,400 points. Mainland China markets rose with higher trading volumes. The Shanghai Composite Index peaked at 3,402 points, closing at 3,399 points, up 14 points or 0.4%. The Shenzhen Component Index closed at 10,250 points, up 67 points or 0.7%. Combined turnover for Shanghai and Shenzhen markets reached 1.2863 trillion yuan, up 134.4 billion yuan from the previous day. The renminbi US dollar central parity rate was set at 7.1855, down 10 pips from last Friday. China's May CPI fell 0.1% year-on-year, better than the expected 0.2% decline, matching April's drop and marking 4 consecutive months of negative growth. Core CPI rose 0.6% year-on-year, up 0.1 percentage points from April. May PPI fell 3.3% year-on-year, worse than the expected 3% drop, and 0.6 percentage points larger than April's decline, marking the steepest drop in 22 months, driven by international input factors and domestic energy and raw material price declines. China's May exports rose 4.8% year-on-year in US dollar terms, below the expected 6%, with growth slowing by 3.3 percentage points from the prior months. Imports fell 3.4%, marking a third consecutive month of decline, with a trade surplus of 103 billion US dollars. For the first 5 months, export grew 6% year-on-year, while imports fell 4.9%. Exports to ASEAN grew over 12%, making it China's top trade partner, followed by the EU, up 6.4%, and the US, down over 9%. Trade prospects remain uncertain, with front-loaded shipments expected to continue, but with diminishing impact in the second half. According to the investment bank report, DeepSeek's R2 model has 1.2 trillion total parameters, over double its predecessor R1, with active parameters rising from 37 billion to 78 billion, enhancing language understanding and output quality for deeper, more accurate AI reasoning. R2 is also cheaper with input costs at 0.07 US dollars per million tokens and output at $0.27 compared to OpenAI's GPT-4 at $2.5 and $10 respectively, a 97% cost reduction. This cost advantage is highly attractive to AI developers, SaaS platforms, and enterprises. The report notes DeepSeek's shift from NVIDIA's H100 chips to Huawei Ascend 910B chip clusters for training and inference, a major step in China's AI supply chain autonomy, reducing reliance on US chip technology. Following its foray into food delivery, JD.com has reportedly launched hotel and tourism businesses, recruiting talent with triple salaries from platforms like Fiji, Tongcheng, Ctrip, and Meituan. Sources indicate JD has built a complete flights plus hotels plus tourism business line with a dedicated department, app, and mini program in development for months. Three new stocks will debut today. Rongta Technology closed at 17.6 Hong Kong dollars in Philip Mark's grey market, up 76% or 7.6 Hong Kong dollars from its IPO price, yielding a paper profit of 3,800 Hong Kong dollars per 500 share lot, excluding fees. New Trend Group closed at 32.6 Hong Kong dollars, up 72.5% or 13.7 Hong Kong dollars, with a paper profit of 2,740 Hong Kong dollars per 200 share lot. Metalite closed at 8.31 Hong Kong dollars, down 14.8% or 1.44 Hong Kong dollars, with a paper loss of 576 Hong Kong dollars per 400 share lot. US stocks showed mixed performance on Monday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average briefly fell nearly 200 points before recovering to close down 1 point at 42,761. The S&P 500 closed 0.09% to rose 0.09% to 6,005, while the Nasdaq climbed 0.3% to 19,591. The Golden Dragon Index, reflecting Chinese concept stocks, surged 2.07%. In focus stocks, Apple's WWDC kicked off, unveiling new products and features, including liquid glass for iPhone and watch devices, and a new OS 26 operating system set for release this fall. However, the highly anticipated AI upgrade for Siri will not launch in the short term. Apple also announced new Apple Intelligence features, including opening its foundational model framework to developers, allowing third-party integration of built-in LLMs into apps. Apple's stock rose 1% intraday, but closed down 1.2%. Nvidia opened up 2% but ended with a 0.6% gain. CEO Jensen Huang attended London Tech Week with UK Prime Minister Starmer on Monday, announcing AI developments. NVIDIA's next-gen Rubin GPU and Vera CPU will finalize design in June, with customer samples available as early as September. The Rubin GPU uses TSMC's third-generation 3-nanometer process, CoWoS-L advanced packaging, and supports 8-layer HBM4 memory, targeting mass production in early 2026. Tesla faced consecutive rating downgrades, reflecting growing market concerns about its outlook following CEO Elon Musk's recent public dispute with President Trump. The stock fell 4.5% intraday, but closed up 4.6%. Stablecoin issuer Circle surged nearly 30% at the open, but ended up 0.4%. The New York Fed's latest survey showed U.S. consumers' median inflation expectations for 1, 3, and 5 years all declined in May, partly due to partly due to easing US-China trade tensions. One-year inflation expectations fell to 3.2% from 3.6%. Three-year expectations dropped to 3% from 3.2%, and five-year expectations eased to 2.6% from 2.7%. Our stock pick today is Zai Lab, stock code 9688. Zai Lab is an innovative global biopharmaceutical company in the commercialization stage, with significant operations in Greater China and the United States. The company is dedicated to addressing significant unmet medical needs in oncology, immunology, neuroscience, and infectious diseases through product discovery, development, and commercialization. Currently, seven commercialized products have received market approval in at least one region of Greater China. In the first quarter of this year, the company's financial performance remained robust, with total revenue increasing 22% year over year to $106.5 million US. Operating loss significantly improved to $56.3 million, down 20% year over year, while adjusted operating loss decreased 25% to $37.1 million. The company reaffirmed its full-year revenue guidance of $560 million to $590 million for 2025 and is steadily progressing toward achieving profitability by the fourth quarter of 2025. In terms of commercialization, Zai Lab continues to expand patient access to key products and is leveraging its existing commercial infrastructure to prepare for upcoming product launches and multiple potential blockbuster therapies. The company is rapidly expanding its global rights pipeline, recently presenting positive data on two next-generation oncology therapies at the AACR annual meeting. It's also exploring the use in first-line SCLC and other neuroendocrine tumors to fully unlock the potential of its significant global rights pipeline. Additionally, Zai Lab has expanded and strengthened its product pipeline with global and regional rights through synergistic business development, including a strategic collaboration and global licensing agreement with MediLink to develop ZL6201 using MediLink's T-Marlin ADC platform. ZL6201 is a novel, potentially first-in-class LRRC15 targeted ADC composed of an antibody discovered by Zai Lab for the treatment of specific solid tumors. Furthermore, Zai Lab entered a strategic partnership with Vertex to obtain licensing rights for povetacicept in mainland China, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and Singapore. Recommended buy price $29, target price $32.5, stop loss $27.5. I do not hold the aforementioned stock.